Good morning and welcome to the nOxyCup 2025. This is Heike Schwerdtner's world record attempt in static apnea for CMAS. And we are just watching her breathe up. And she is starting. So, as you know, Heike Schwerdtner is a German athlete. She is in her 50s. Outside of freediving, she teaches nursing. And I don't think I'll ever forget the moment when she broke her first world record. That was an ADA world record in Kaunas at the ADA Freediving World Championships last year, where she broke the world record with, I believe, 9:07. And that world record had been held by Natalia Molchanova for about 11 years, and it was her last unbroken record. So actually I have the Molchanov's article in front of me that was posted at the time, and I remember them saying it was a bit of a bittersweet one because, you know, the last of Natalia's world records had been broken by Heike in Kaunas at the time. So we are kind of coming to the end of our static here in Budapest, Hungary, and Heike's world record attempt is the only one that we are streaming at the moment. So she currently holds the CMAS world record as well, with 9:05 in both her age group, which is Masters 1 over 50s, and also among the seniors. So you can see now that's her partner and buddy Klaus Kasten coaching her there, and we have some other athletes as well beside her. So Heike lives in Germany. She has an adult son. And she actually hasn't started freediving before her 40s. So she came relatively late to the sport, which, as we know, in freediving isn't really a problem because of, as I mentioned, Natalia Molchanova was also of a similar age when she broke so many world records. So it's the thing I love about freediving is that it's a little bit ageless. Like, you don't, if you think of a more land-based sport such as athletics or football, you know, you're thinking of the top athletes being in their 20s, whereas here we obviously have world-class elite athletes into their 50s as well. So great to see Heike back here in Budapest. I think she competed in previous nOxyCups as well. And lovely to see her as always. Heike she's such an incredibly chilled person. I've spoken to her a few times, and she always had some lovely wisdoms to share, always smiling, lovely person to be around. She is a freediving instructor, and she kind of mostly trains herself, obviously, for these elite performances. She would have to dedicate a good bit of time to get up to this level. She has spent most of her life in and around the water. She learned to swim at a very young age. Possibly, let me check. So, yeah, she was still a toddler when she learned to swim. So she learned to swim. She did a little bit of platform diving, which is funny because we actually have platform divers training here in the Duna Arena in Budapest as we speak, while Heike is doing her world record attempt. She also did some scuba diving and had a brief encounter with freediving before she actually got into it. She properly got into freediving in 2015, so 10 years ago. And already in her first competition in 2017, she broke, that was her third competition in 2017. She broke the German national record and that was a breath hold time at the time of 6:13. So for those tuning in, if you're not familiar with static apnea, this is kind of what it says on the tin. So the athletes are lying motionless on the surface of the water with their face in the water, and they are holding their breath. And this is all it is, but this also gives it its beauty and complexity, because it's just one movement to lift your head and take that sweet, sweet breath. But you have to battle your mind. And it's really, really, the static is where the mind game comes in. And many athletes kind of specialize in different freediving disciplines. Heike, I think, is going to compete in, she's definitely going to compete this afternoon in no fins. At least she's on the start list. But her real strength is obviously static apnea, where she holds the world record, both for ADA and for CMAS for women. So you can see just the most gentle touches from her buddy Klaus, just kind of very gently adjusting her position in the water by moving her by her arms. She's dressed up properly in this lovely blue Molchanovs wetsuit. Shout out to Molchanovs. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. It's always lovely to have you as sponsors, and you're very generous. Heike likes to wear the hood in static, and you can see that she's actually wearing gloves and socks and booties as well. I've heard from a few athletes this morning that they found the pool quite cold. So previous nOxyCups, we would have used the children's pool, which is a little bit warmer. The water is a bit warmer, but this was one of the other sort of normal swimming pools where they brought the floor up to about, I think, looks like possibly around 120 centimeters. So that the athletes and safeties and, as you can see, photographers can very comfortably stand in the water. And then once the athletes have finished their performance, they can kind of just stand up and do their surface protocol that way. So as I mentioned, this is a CMAS world record attempt. So nOxyCup is an event that's kind of two events in one. So we have an ADA part of the event, and then we have a CMAS part of the event. During ADA, the coach is allowed to verbally assist the athlete with their surface protocol. I did that myself for one of the Hungarian athletes earlier this morning, just helping them through the steps of the ADA surface protocol. It has very specific steps that you have to do within a certain time and a certain order of surfacing. However, in CMAS, the surface protocol is a bit simpler, but you're not allowed to assist. Static is the only freediving discipline where the coach is allowed to touch the athlete during a performance. So that is forbidden in all the other disciplines, in all the depth disciplines and all the dynamic pool disciplines as well. And you can see Heike is coming up to the 7 minutes. So this is still a very easy breath hold for her. But she is aiming for something very close to that world record that I mentioned about 7 minutes ago, where if you saw the recording or if you rewatched the YouTube, you could see that I was absolutely lost for words. And I am just thrilled to be back and witnessing another one of Heike's world records, because I'm absolutely certain that she will get it. I'm feeling very, very positive. She is an incredible athlete, incredibly strong, and very focused on her results and on what she would like to achieve. You can see her swallowing there. There was a slight movement in the mouth. That is a way, I think some athletes, so in the stages of a breath hold, as you're holding your breath and as the discomfort increases, at one point you're starting to get contractions. We call them contractions. They're really sort of involuntary movement of your diaphragm, of your belly, as your body is saying, I need air, I need to breathe, and your diaphragm is trying to pull air into your lungs. And a contraction is a sign, but a contraction doesn't mean a discomfort for everyone. I don't know how Heike's experience of contractions is. Obviously that was well past the 7 minute mark. Some athletes sometimes move some air from their lungs into their mouth and then back down to kind of limit the discomfort that contractions are causing. I don't know if that's what we saw now, but you could see that there was definitely some movement. So there is a competition strategy here, and we're coming up to 9 minutes, and Heike is putting her hands onto the wall. Come on, 9:00. Come on, Heike, a few seconds more, and then you're breaking your own world record in CMAS. 9:07, 9:08, come on, absolute world record. And she's out. Let's see her. Oh, no, she's not out. Apologies. She was just above the camera. Come on. Breathe. 9:18. Okay, we saw that very clearly. That was a very clear, very easy surface protocol, 9:18, and she made it look easy. And we're waiting for the judge to give the card. Uh, 9:80. Sorry, so that the time is the time you see on the screen is an unofficial time, definitely more than 9:07, I presume. 9:07 was her previous ADA world record. This is a CMAS world record attempt, and it's a white card world record for Heike Schwerdtner. Possibly absolute world record for static in women, for women, and she is rightfully so happy. An unbelievable amount of work has gone into this. She's an incredibly strong athlete. I didn't have a single shred of doubt that she would get the world record, and she got it. You saw it first. We saw it together. I'm so incredibly happy for you, Heike. Well done. Wow. What a battle. What a battle. I'd love to talk to her later, maybe during the no fins, after she's done her no fins performance. Hopefully we'll get her on the microphone and talk to her a little bit about her world record as well. That was fantastic. Well done, Heike. What a day. Great job. On that note, we will see you in approximately 40 minutes for dynamic no-fins. That's going to be in a different pool within the Duna Arena. And we will see you there. My name is Esther, and I will see you back now in about 40 minutes. Thank you so much.